Pretty soon you're gonna be able to drive your car without driving your car.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
If you're somewhat normal, you probably already know about driverless cars, a thing that people are developing right now and something that may be in our very near future. But you don't have to worry if you don't know all about it, because I went out and did some research, and right now, I'm gonna tell you everything that you need to know to seem like you know what you're talking about when it comes to driverless cars, okay?
Because that's what it's all about. It's about seeming like
parties.
You know stuff.
This is for parties.
Really about knowing things. No, I'm generally interested in this, but I've held back from the boopity boops because I didn't want to over boopity boop lap you when I knew you were already in there.
Okay, so you might wonder when did this whole thing get started? Isn't this like a relatively recent thing? Well, actually, back in the '80s at Carnegie Mellon University, the guys there came up with the NavLab 1, which was a Chevrolet panel van.
Look at that thing.
With 5 racks of computer hardware. This thing had some software limitations. It was able to, once it was fully functional, it was able to achieve a top speed of 20 miles per hour.
It looks like something you'd drive into a tornado and just to destroy it.
You wouldn't want to drive it away from a tornado at 20 miles per hour.
No, you wouldn't. 20 miles an hour.
So that was the start. That's where this thing started.
This is pre-Google, but I mean, in terms of like corporate foray into driverless cars, was Google at the forefront of this thing, or?
Well, hey, Link, hold your boopity boop horses, man.
I'm sorry.
Because at first I want to tell you how they work, and then I'm going to tell you who's doing it.
How do they work, Rhett? First, tell me that.
Okay, it's pretty simple. It's actually very complex, but it's not magic. I thought it was magic. Okay, I got to be honest with you that I thought it was magic until I started doing research, and now it's basically just a combination of radar, LiDAR, which is basically lasers being fired off of things, and they can sense objects, GPS, and computer vision. It's a combination of all these things that lead to them being able to create a sense of what is around them, and they can do this at pretty high speeds, very reliably.
So it basically makes the world around a car look like Tron.
Exactly. This is like looking inside a driverless car's brain. But you know what? They're still having trouble with things, even with all this technology. They still have trouble with snow and rain. Not too great in snow and rain, but hey, I'm not either. Come on, give me a break. Not very good at navigating through parking lots, which that surprised me a little bit. That's kind of a low speed endeavor.
Well, and that funny enough, that's one of the first things I think of I want to do without having to drive.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want to park.
I'm here now, just park.
I'm gonna read my book while it parks.
Right, because it's like,
not yet.
You know, it's the holiday season and everybody's trying to park.
Right. Everybody's listening to the Christmas music. Is that what you're going into?
Yeah, you know how it is. People kill each other over parking spots.
They're having trouble parking, but they're also currently unable to differentiate between a pedestrian and a policeman, or between crumpled up paper or a rock. Now you got to think about that.
Been there.
You can see that. You see that thing in the middle of the road and you're like, is that a bag or a rock? Usually it's a bag.
But I dodge the bag too. So.
I go for the bag. I want the bags to get up under the undercarriage and be like, did I get it? Did I pick it up? And then we take it out when we get home. Not recommended if you care about your car, but it's a fun game to play with the kids. Anyway, Google.
What do you call that game?
It's called car bag pickup in a car.
Bag drop.
Google projects to have these, getting into Google, projects to have these issues dealt with by 2024. Link, that's when the 2024 Olympics will be. And that's when cornhole is going to be a sport.
Right, and cars will be able to dodge paper, drive over paper, and
paper will be no problem for the cars. Okay,
it's going to take
several
10
companies
years.
Involved in this right now, but believe it or not, and maybe you already know this, but there are some driverless cars out there on the road right now, especially in San Francisco, California, just a little north of here.
How many are we talking, like one?
Well, there's at least two. There's at least two that I know about. On December 22nd, 2014, Google unveiled a fully functioning prototype of their driverless car that's been driving itself around San Francisco. This thing, here it is.
No one's in it? Looks like a clown car.
There's
like
nobody
40
in the picture.
40 clowns in that thing?
They might put a person in there just to put people at ease, because you pull up next to some grandma and she thinks that the end is near.
Or me.
Or you, or Link.
If I saw that car going down the road, I'd be like, first of all, where are the clowns?
Listen, there's a car rolling real straight down the road right now. Nobody's driving it.
No.
It's out of control. But it looks like it's in control.
I'd run after it and get in it and try to stop it.
It has no steering wheel. It has no brakes or gas pedal, so you'd be out of luck if you got in there.
Have you seen the hills in San Francisco? It seems like the worst place ever to have a...
You don't need it. But that's nothing. Okay, so the Google car is pretty cool, but it kind of looks like an egg. The Mercedes-Benz F015. This is a self-driving car concept that is currently roaming the streets of San Francisco. You gotta move to San Francisco if you wanna have an interaction with a driverless car. The best way to describe this is to show you the video. They released this video on the Mercedes channel in January.
Okay.
This thing is absolutely amazing.
Whoa. Now that looks like CGI.
It is an actual video. That's an actual desert.
The car it looks awesome.
Look, and this is inside. Look at this guy just chilling in this.
What is that?
Star Trek-like platform that is.
Is that floating now?
Look how cool he is.
Is he in the back seat or the front seat?
Look, he's just caressing this screen and things are happening and there's bubbles on it and he's just pressing it. Got a touch screen on the entire side of the door.
Dude, look, he's driving using those bubbles.
No, he's not doing anything except enjoying himself. He's entertaining himself. He's not worried about driving.
He's so bored he's got to play with bubbles.
Oh, and you think that's special? Look at this. At nighttime, when a person is trying to cross the road in the middle of the desert, which happens all the time. Look, it senses that somebody wants to cross. I don't know how.
Or is that a hitchhiker?
It's projecting that onto the ground. And then look.
Looks like a Wi-Fi signal.
It projects a freaking crosswalk for the person.
What? And the guy's...
And then it starts speaking at you.
What?
Please go ahead.
A guy in the who's like, I just wanted to like hitch a ride.
What is that guy doing in the desert?
I don't know, he's dressed nice though.
Well, this car can do all kinds of things, but how much does it cost, you ask, Link?
How much does it cost?
Well, that costs $10 million.
What?
So that's a concept car, so it was about $10 million to develop that. But Google had a Prius before that was just a Prius that was kind of souped up, and that would be about $300,000. With everything that you needed to actually make it a Prius. So this is not very affordable right now, but just around the corner, everybody, don't lose hope. Just around the corner, it will become affordable. It's gonna add about $7,000 to $10,000 to the car sticker price in 2025. That's gonna drop to about $5,000 additional dollars in 2030. And then by 2035, it's only gonna be about $3,000 extra to become driverless, which is when they say, experts predict, that you will be able to completely be independent from the driving experience. You will just be chilling in your car.
2035?
2035, we'll still be alive, hopefully. Hopefully, if we make it to the Olympics.
But there's cars out there now that they'll take over. Like they'll prevent you from like rear-ending somebody on the 101.
Right.
Or like hitting a pedestrian.
Just little tastes of being a driverless car.
Right. Driverless moments.
But what I'm talking about is that I don't have to do anything except just like watch a movie.
But are they safe? That's my big question.
Oh, Link, are they safe? I'm glad you asked. Well, you know what? 90% of all car accidents are caused by human error.
10% are caused by that deer. That deer goes everywhere.
Yeah, deer is a big troublemaker. But there's the Eno Center for Transportation predicts that driverless cars will decrease the number of accidents by 211,000 per year. 211,000 crashes per year.
Wow.
I mean, the Google driverless car has been going around. They say that Google says that their driverless car fleet has logged 700,000 miles with no accidents whatsoever.
So the computer is smarter than a human because it's going 20 miles an hour.
Well, no, this thing's going normal speed limit.
It's smarter than a human because it's a computer.
It was actually in 2 accidents that were both the result of humans. One of them, they were rear-ended by somebody at a stoplight. That's not the car's fault, that's a human's fault, huh?
It should have sped up.
And then the second time, a driver was driving the driverless car and he wrecked it.
Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Why are we hearing about this?
Why you get in a driverless car if you're gonna drive it, stupid? It's like, oh, it's finally my chance. I get to drive a driverless car.
And listen, and this is where we want to hear what your opinion is. We always want to hear what your opinion is. But really I want to see how it lines up with what most people who've been surveyed said about this. Because regardless of how safe these things appear to be, only about 50% of people say that they would use a driverless car. Another 50% are skeptical of this and think, I don't know, I want to be in control.
Because you think about the malfunction. It only takes one malfunction to like stop on a train track
but you're much
sleeping.
more likely to malfunction than the robot that's driving the car.
I'll own that one.
But the more education that you have, the more you trust robots, apparently, because 59% of college graduates said they'll do it, but 62% of those with high school diploma or less say, I ain't doing that. I ain't trusting that car. It's a robot. It's gonna turn on me. Where do you stand in this debate?
Do they talk to you like
you can make
Kit
them talk
from Knight Rider?
Yeah, you can make them talk to you like this if you want. Mr. Rhett, what do you want? You want a cheeseburger to just come out of the door?
It cooks too?
I'm sure it will.
It will
By
not.
2035, it'll do whatever you want it to. It'll discipline your children. You won't have to do anything except just lean back.
Don't make it pull over, kids. It'll do it. I won't even be doing anything.
Okay, so that's the state of driverless cars in 2035. We'll all be leaning back and enjoying watching the Titanic as we drive around in our Mercedes.
That is poetic. All right, thanks to our sponsor, GoDaddy.com. Visit GoDaddy.com and enter code GMM at checkout to get a .com domain for $1.99. Link in the description.
Don't let somebody steal that website idea that you've got. I want to be driving around with a cheeseburger watching the Titanic in 2035.com. It's available.
What about don'tmakeitpullover.com?
That's good. I can't guarantee that that's not available, but if it isn't, then you need to jump on that right now.
Thanks for liking and commenting on this video.
You know what time it is.
Yes, who? It's me, Lawrence Apana, and it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
You should like our Facebook. Why? Because we're doing exclusive videos over there. Go to the video tab and see all the videos that we have been uploading over there on Facebook.
Click through to Good Mythical More. You got some more information about driverless cars.
I do.
What would we do in a driverless car?
Link is addicted to saying the word nugget and goes to Rhett for help.
Oh, Nugget, man. I gotta come to you with a problem, Nugget.
My name, you calling me Nugget?
Rhett, man, Nugget. I got a problem, Nugget.
That's not my nickname.
I keep just saying Nugget all the time and I can't get rid of Nugget in it.
Wow. Do you need me to find like a nugget or something? And maybe you get like you touch a nugget or something? And
You
then
just need to check me into that anti-nugget place,
I
man.
don't know if that exists. I can't find a nugget, so I guess you're out of luck, Nugget.
Nugget.
Is it contagious?
What's the first thing you're gonna do when you get behind the non-wheel of a driverless car?
Take a nap.
You're going, I'll be so excited I won't be able to take a nap.